Welcome to the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. We are the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV. What is going on, people? How's everybody doing out there after that amazing national championship game last night? I've got my boy. I'm sitting here talking with the Dream Kid. What is going on this morning?
What is going on is the Colorado Rockies.
Oh.
Let's open up with the nasty-ass Brew Crew yesterday and the Poundinate.
Son.
Before we start patting ourselves on the back, I got to give a big apologies out to your boy took the Brew Crew yesterday, and god damn, I mean, that was awful. How do you open up your home opener with no points and you give up 10 to the Rockies? Dude, that's dusty.
Son, I think you own the worst defeat in sports. They lost 37-3, dude, but you lost 10-0 in baseball, bro.
You
That's
came
worse.
Out to San Diego against your own team, against your own favorite team, son. That's the worst loss in the history of sports. And Dr. Dizzle had a hoop. He had a hoop one that he did once with a hoop that was ridiculous. I'm not owning the worst.
Guys, what's worse? What's worse, a 37-3 loss in the NFL or a 10-0 loss in baseball, guys?
Wait, don't stop. Make sure you reiterate that it was your team that San Diego was playing against.
Yeah.
You gotta read. That's the most important part of your loss. That you're a Dolphin fan. Hey guys, man, I'm real sorry about that. Hey, wait, hold on. Opening day one. Come on, I didn't see a whole lot of people giving out the Rockies. Say what you want. There was not a whole lot of Rockies backers.
Unbelievable, man. I saw that 10-0 and I was like, whoa. I text you up. I said, did you see the score?
You saw it. Yo, somebody hit me off when it was like 4-0. They're like, Dream. I like, dude, shut up. I see it. What you think I'm doing? If you see it, you know I see it.
Oh, my God. But yo, big ups to the Evil Genius kid going 6-0 in MLBs yesterday, kid.
Evil went crazy. That's dope, man. That's a great off to an awesome start by him, and yeah, nice job for him yesterday. And guys, I mean, you know, yesterday me and Hatter went over yesterday's show, and I did give out on the show. I did give out Wisconsin on the show, and you know, I'm sorry for those of you that are not on Twitter. I'm sorry. But I ended up taking Duke at the last minute, and I gotta send big shout outs to my boy OJFB and my man the Kid. My man the Kid, I gotta be honest with you. And you guys, I'm always talking about him, and me and him, we have a relationship, a friendship that we built. You know, he did come to Vegas as well, and we kicked it a little bit there. And you know, I respect him as a handicapper. You know, he's I've talked about him in the past, so you guys know how I feel about my man. But me and him are cool, and I gotta be honest with you. A lot of his insight, you know, helped sway me to Duke yesterday. I mean, along with a whole bunch of other people. Philly's Picks was out there, and he was on Duke, and I respect it. Dude, one thing, I keep an open mind, especially in certain situations. Yesterday was one of those situations where I was on the fence, and I had said in the show, I did say that my heart was with Duke, but my mind and my money was probably going to go with Wisconsin. And whenever your team is involved, you always want to, you got to try to be objectively. And I'm a Duke fan, so it's that I have to take into consideration when I want to root for Duke, because of course I'm thinking Duke's dope because I'm their fan. But a couple of good points that were pointed out to me by the Kid, and I got to say that one of his best points was that Duke was deeper. Their bench was deeper, and I completely agreed with that. And I'll be honest with you. Hey, big ups to the white boys on Duke, because the two white dudes were holding it down.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they did a hell of a job, man.
The two white dudes were holding it down. I'm sorry I don't know their names, but I'll be honest with you. When Duke went down 8 and the big dude hit the 3 to bring it to within 5. If you ask me, that saved the game. That was the turning point of the game because the game was about to go into a blowout. When he hit that 3, it was right on time. Big ups to Coach K for implementing those guys and getting them in there because for some reason it was like the starters just, they couldn't get it done. I mean, in Okafor, man, I mean, dude really needs to think about staying like another year or maybe 2. I mean, he really is not ready for the pros. He's going to get sunned in the pros. Seriously.
Son, he missed some really easy layups too.
He's going to get sunned in the pros. He's not ready offensively. He's not ready defensively. He doesn't seem like the type of he looks like he's not the kind of person that he doesn't look like a listener. He looks like, he's been listening to how dope he is and he's going pro and nobody could tell him nothing. I just don't like his personality. I don't like his body language. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that he needs to add to his game. This kid's going to come out. He's going to go to, some team like the Knicks and he'll play like 1 year and we'll never hear from him again because it'll be just dreadful.
Yeah, that's usually what goes down anyway. With most of these guys.
Dreadful. And I said yesterday, I felt like both of these guys, Kaminsky and Okafor, they unfortunately are the type of players, they need to go to good teams. And unfortunately, they're probably not. Kaminsky might make his way around. He might get a little bit more of a chance. He might be more of an open-minded type player. And may make his way, get eventually to a good team, kind of like JJ, like JJ Redick did. But these guys who come out, top bill, they go to the worst teams. And if you guys got nothing around you, I just don't feel either one of these guys are a franchise big men that you can build around personally. I think they're nice additives to already establish. I mean, how dope would Kaminsky be, playing on the Spurs? You know what I'm saying? Think about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I could implement both of these guys to a few teams in the NBA that they would be, incredible additions. But unfortunately, they're going to awful teams, and some of the awful, landscapes that they're going to make it to. The poor kids are just going to get worn out.
I concur big time with that. Yo, big ups to Boston boy out there. No request. Randy Lockhart, Marco Spagnola, the Irish Mob, OJFB, Terry Bassard, Mo Diggs, Mo. Tip Talker, Matty Fresh, the Andy Mack, JC, hashtag SBTVNation, James Harrelson, hashtag SBTV. I got, Direct Sports Solutions. I got Razor Ramon with the hashtag The Buzz. I got P for Prez, Joe Zippy, Nick, Face Kicker. I've got Moneyline Hunter. I've got Yippa82 all the way in Australia, RT. I got Root with the hashtag. I've got Jeff, Ryan, C. Rodriguez Jr., Jason Riley, Elvin XL, hashtag SBTV Nation, Frank Vincolato, Dylan, Yodo, Spot Bet, Damn Dream. This is getting nuts every morning, kid. It's growing and growing and growing every single day, kid.
That's how we do it over here. Oh. Y'all know that's what's up, and that's how it's supposed to be, and it should be growing as, hey, we are doing, we're putting our work in, so people are giving it. You reap the benefits of what you sow. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And I guess, all of our hard work and dedication comes through as people get up in the morning and they listen to us and they, like the product that we're putting out, and hey, we couldn't be more than happy to give you that product on a day in and day out basis.
Absolutely, man. And speaking of giving, did you see my number 2 boy last night, son? Mr. Brook Lopez running wild.
Yeah, that was a great. That was a pretty easy call. As we did announce that Portland wasn't starting anybody. I guess they all went to the Milwaukee Brewer game. So the Bro Crew. I can't believe the Bro Crew did me like that. I still, I feel like driving down to Milwaukee right now.
Son, 10-0, kid. So
Dude, how do you 10-0 on your home? That's like telling the fans, kick rock.
I know.
On your home opener, son.
Oh, man, I don't even know.
I would have did something crazy. I would have started hitting cats with the ball, or I would have hit somebody with the bat, had a fight, did something to stop the game or something. I don't know. 10-0 on your home opener. That's bad. You needed to be like Tyson and bite the ears. Yeah. Do something.
I feel you, man. Big ups to
That's an embarrassing, son. Listen. I've been in some embarrassing situations. Well, I was embarrassed yesterday, but I'm saying, as you know, playing sports, I've been in a couple. Nothing like that, and nothing's worse than when you getting blown out and the other team is like talking trash. Because with baseball, you know them cats, like they standing around, you know, doing bubble gum and seeds and. You know, when you get on that base, first base, the first baseman is lighting you up with all types of, dude, your boy is horrible. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I bet you Buddy strikes out. Watch him swing at the sinker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, you got to be on first base hot, like ready to fight with the dude. Oh, man, that's just sad. It's sad. And you got lucky for them that I wasn't on it, because you know if I had been on first base, cats would have been irate. But hey, it is what it is. You went out there and caught that tail whipping. So, hey, you know, and here's the crazy thing about it. You know, part of me wants to bet the Brewers today because if you got any pride as a professional athlete, you think you would go out there and really go out there and get a win today based on how you were embarrassed yesterday. But the other part of me is saying, you know what? Like I wrote yesterday, there's 160, and now there'll be 159 games still left. I ain't doing it.
161 games. It's 162 in the season, brother. So they got 161 left.
I said yesterday, they said today, hey, there's 160 games left. Don't worry about it. Because I said yesterday in a tweet that I was probably more embarrassed about the pick than the Brewers because they probably all telling themselves, hey, there's 160 games left. Don't worry about it. We'll get them. And now today there's 159 games left, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So speaking of baseball, kid, you want to go through some scores? You got the scores up?
Well, first we'll start with the NBA since I got it right in front of me. The Nets beat the Trailblazers 106-96 yesterday as far as the that game was concerned. Blue Jays over the Yankees 6-1. Yankees looks like they're going for a long season. The Tigers beat the Twins 4-0. Great call by you. The kid was also on that play. Rockies eclipsed the Brewers 10-0 and just awful by me. Red Sox over the Phillies 8-0. We had the Orioles beat the Rays 6-2. The Mets, Dr. Dan's Mets won. I think he gave that out 3-1. The Queen of Odds was also on the Mets yesterday, so big ups to you guys for cashing on the Mets, and great job on that. The Braves over the Marlins 2-1. The Padres beat the Padres lost to the Dodgers 6-3. Some people went against the Dodgers yesterday with my man Kershaw on the mound. Still scratching my head about that, but okay. I did mention that, but I'm just gonna solely take credit for that Brewer debacle before I talk about any accolades of my wins yesterday in baseball. The Reds beat the Pirates 5-2. The Royals over the White Sox 10-0. The Mariners beat the Angels 4-1. The Astros beat the Indians 2-0. We had the Giants over the Diamondbacks 5-4, and Oak Tree beat the Rangers 8-0 as well. And that's what happened on your in your baseball. As far as the hockey is concerned, the Sabres beat the Hurricanes. The Rangers, who I did like yesterday, but I said stay away as it's not time to bet hockey right now, I don't think. Rangers beat the Blue Jackets 4-3. The Jets over the Wild 2-0. The Kings lost to the Canucks 2-1. And the Stars beat the Sharks 5-1. And those are your scores.
Son, you want to hear something crazy?
Go.
I did not bet MLB, and I did not bet the national title game.
Yeah, no, I know you didn't bet the national title. I thought you took Detroit. You didn't take them, huh?
I did not take Detroit, and last night I said I'm going to wait till the game starts. I'm going to see if I get a feel. Dude, I could not get a feel for that game. Duke and Wisconsin. I mean, if anything, I was leaning Wisconsin for a little bit there when they were leading, but I couldn't get a feel. So I say, you know what? Sometimes the best bet you ever made was the one you never played. And I would have probably ended up taking Wisconsin, but I saw you were on Duke, and I saw a lot of stuff going on in the game, and I was just like, nah. And I'm glad I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest with you. When the game opened, I really liked Duke. I really felt confident that Duke was going to come at. The things that I was worried about Duke wasn't an issue from the start of the game. And I felt that even though they went in at the half tied, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody recognized, do you know that was the same score that Kentucky went into the half tied with Wisconsin on Saturday night as well?
No, I think it was 36-all the other night, and it was 31-all.
I thought it was 31-all both nights. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. But the thing that I liked what I saw out of Duke early, and I really thought that Duke had seriously outplayed Wisconsin at the beginning of the game, in the first half of that game, and I felt like Duke should have been up at the half like 6 to 8 points, but what kept happening is Wisconsin, man, the ball just seemed to always bounce. All those offensive rebounds, it's like they just always bounce like right in their hands. Like there was always a guy right in the right spot, and there was a fumble, or there was and then of course the threes that they made, great threes in big spots to keep Duke from getting real ahead of it. But it really seemed like Duke was in control that whole first half. Then you get the lapse in the second half, where, like I said, where it looked like Wisconsin was going to go crazy and take over. And then, hey, big ups to Coach K, as like I said, he put in a couple of players that hadn't really seen a lot of action in the tournament, but it was time, as he had to go deeper in his bench. And that, once again, pat on the back to the kid for saying that the Duke has a deep bench, because the guys came in and they really showed up in big spots, and their energy was there when some might have been lacking, or mentally or physically were taken out of their game. I mean, Okafor, with the constant fouling of Kaminsky, and I believe that Duke probably should have went to a zone type of game. Once Okafor got his 2 fouls, I think Duke should have maybe went to a zone type of defense at that point. They opted to try to play man to man, but it all worked out in the end, as Duke dug in and played hard. I hear that the Wisconsin coach blamed the refs for the game.
Yeah, he was. He was saying, that they've had games that were more physical than that, and there was, that was more physical than other games that had more fouls and blah blah blah. He was crying a little bit, but hey, sometimes you get the calls, sometimes you don't.
I really felt like Wisconsin got a lot of the calls and got bad calls in the beginning of the game. As far as like there was calls against Duke that were bad calls in the beginning of the game. But I do feel like at the end of the game, especially in their run, a couple of calls I felt did go Duke's way. So I think in the end, it all ended up washing itself out. But I do feel like in Wisconsin's defense, their calls came at the bad part of the game, because they didn't have any time to recover from it, whereas Duke had time to recover from the bad calls. But I think there were bad calls on both sides. It just was a tough game to kind of call. I think the referees did a pretty decent job on the game. I'm not going to beat them up too bad about it, but I did see a little bit, towards I definitely in the first half thought Duke got called a couple of ticky-tacky fouls. Okafor got called against Kaminsky. I felt like they weren't giving the same, fouls to some of the Duke guys when Duke was doing the same thing. Kaminsky, with the big flop, he got away with a couple times, and then I think towards the end, on the other end, I think Duke got away with a little bit of some too. But I think hey, it all washed its way out.
Absolutely, bro. So, hey, you know what? It was a great year for us, college hoop wise. The futures did not work out. So even though, dude, you and I text each other this last night. How many times did we say that Dookies were good value with the future?
Oh man, 100 times.
100 times, kid. They were like 12-1, 10-1.
My team, and I never did it. I never played it.
That's the way it goes sometimes, though. You know what I mean?
Played.
Unbelievable. I mean, we're looking at them at 12-1. I remember, dude, time and time again. But
I did have Duke in Kentucky to play in the championship. I did have that future, but Kentucky was in it.
Yeah, right. No, so, I think we got so swayed with Kentucky.
Yeah, I was big on Kentucky.
Yeah.
I was big on them.
Yeah, we got so swayed with that it kind of, messed our judgment up, and we didn't end up getting a Duke future. But, hey, you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and we'll move on, because we got hockey and we got the NBAs to cash some futures on, brother. So I'm good with that. I could live with it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So what you want to get into first?
Hey, let's go. Well, who do we have coming on?
Let's see. We got the money line guy coming in about 10 minutes. He's going to go into NBAs. So, I'm sorry, not NBAs. He's going to go into MLBs. My bad. My bad.
10 minutes. And now after I said his name, he'll probably call, as all our guests always call early.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Nah, I could put a message to him. The money line guy came out and partied with us in Las Vegas at our 1-year anniversary party, kid. Can't wait to get him on in about 10 minutes. He's actually, I'm sorry, guys. He's going to go over baseball. The Dream's favorite. So
I can't wait. I'm getting in this baseball. Don't worry. I'm gonna be doing my thing with the baseball in a minute. I like that I got banged up right out of the gate. That only makes me want to dig in deeper now. But I am gonna get through hockey and NBA first though before I really get into baseball deep. I'm gonna keep the wagering low. Yesterday I went a little too heavy on the baseball wager.
My man, Mr. Solution says, shout out to my fellow non-dusty Connecticut peeps. What's up, brother? How you doing out there, man? The weather's starting to break for us a little bit. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's jump into this, Dream. So let's go into the NBAs. Because that's kind of what we've been starting with a little bit. And, taking a look at this, the NBA for me has been pretty – I don't want to say it's been easy to gauge, but it's been a lot easier than hockey for sure. Hockey's been – I can't quite figure out hockey, but not that I ever did anyway. But
well, you got to think of the physicality of a hockey game and the physicality of a basketball game, you know. At the physicality of a hockey game, you got to probably evaluate it more like or compare it more to like the NFL, as you get towards the end of the season in NFL, where you're just going to, if a team, just look at a couple of teams are like, Denver and New England, where they've already sewn up their playoff spots and they're going to try to get guys some rest, as the playoffs are upon them next week. So you got to think of the physicality of a hockey game. I mean, them dudes, they bang out, dude. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So they're going to try to get some rest and, they're going to drop games now because you're like, yo, we're not getting beat up because we can't afford to get guys hurt, going into the playoffs because the object of the game is to win. So that's what you got going on in hockey. Whereas the NBA, I mean, yeah, there's some physicality in there, but for the most part, guys are, running up and down the court. And yeah, you're not going to kill yourself, but you're not quite banging the same way with basketball. So.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm taking a look at this right now. I'm looking at the hockey standings. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have not secured playoff bids yet. So we'll get into that, but I want to talk NBAs first, all right?
Okay.
Let's go into we got the Charlotte Hornets coming into the Miami Heat. Miami Heat are -3.5 to 4. I do not have a total on this yet, but I got to tell you that I don't know, is Wade still out? I know he got banged up versus Cleveland.
Yeah, he had that slip on the water that I think he hyperextended his knee or his leg, or I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's out or not, but Wade's always day to day, no matter what. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, you got to look into that. Before the game starts.
Yeah, Deng is day to day. Anderson, Birdman is day to day. Beasley's day to day for Miami. Charlotte, I'll be honest with you, I won twice with them, and now I've pulled off.
Yeah, definitely pull off, especially in this spot here. As the Heat just dropped a game on just dropped a game Sunday.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't like the Heat.
Very, very tough game there.
I don't like this game at all. No.
You got to take a look at it. 3.5 point favorites, but you got to take a look at that injury report, guys. It's really, it looks, they got like a Swiss cheese team right now. So take a look at that. I wouldn't go anywhere near that personally. The next one we got on the ticket, we got Phoenix coming into Atlanta. Atlanta is -8.5 to 9 with an over 204 to 204.5. Dude, Atlanta has nothing to play for. They're number 1 in the East. They're not going to catch Golden State for the best record in the West. You know what I'm saying? So, meaning like if they made it to the finals, who would have home court or whatnot? They're not going to catch Golden State for the best record in the league. So, what does Atlanta have to play for?
Wait, hold on a second. Let me ask you a question. How many games are left in the NBA to the playoffs?
Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Let me take a look here and see what we got.
If there's more than 6, they could catch Golden State.
They're not going to catch Golden State, dude. There's, let's see, 1, 2,
I didn't say
3.
whether they were or not. I said that they could if there's more than 6 games
left. There's only 6 games left.
There is.
Yeah.
Because they're 57-19 and Golden State is 63-14. That's a 5-game difference.
Okay. Yeah, but it's going to be really tough.
Right. No, no. I'm not saying it's not tough. I agree with you. I mean, we got to, always look at, every angle of it.
I'm with you.
But I think you're right there, but what do you do here?
I don't know. I mean, Phoenix is really, really trying hard to get in. But I don't think it – I mean, Atlanta played – I did not expect them to beat up on Brooklyn either. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta came in and laid the smackdown on Brooklyn. So, I don't know. I got to stay away from this game just because I just don't know what kind of Atlanta team you're going to get.
It's definitely a stay away from game. I think that the Hawks are going to win, though. I think they're going to pull it out. I don't know about taking the 8. I think the Hawks are going to win because I just think they're going to play. They're home. They're going to play. Even your second unit is probably, as good as the Suns' first unit. And I haven't, they played tough, in the beginning, and they looked like, they were formidable. And where are the Suns at with their standings anyway?
They are, let me take a look at what they got going on here. Let's see, NBA playoff standings. Let me take a look. Pulling it up. Let's see. All right, so they are, let's see, they're behind OKC by 3 games. OKC is in the 8th spot. They are 39-38, so they gotta win out pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
But which obviously we don't think is going to happen. But
we don't. No,
yeah.
It's just I don't think they're going to win starting tonight.
I feel you.
To be honest with you.
I feel you. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
Stay away from the game. I mean, I think there's a couple other games that you could take that might be a bit easier.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, next one we got on the ticket is we got San Antonio Spurs coming into OK Sizzle. San Antonio is minus 6 to 7 points with an under over 215.5 to 216. OKC's trying to keep that 8th seed, bro.
Don't bet against the Spurs.
I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out
just there. Too hot. The Spurs just too hot right now. And they're, it's a good time for them to be catching fire as they're going into this playoffs. And I told you guys about this Spurs team. They're too hot right now. And guys, I mean, you look at this Thunder team. I told you that over the course of the year, dude is gonna wear down, and it's starting to, it's starting to come to fruition with this Thunder team. So be careful with this game here. As I know you guys think that the Thunder are gonna want it more, but sometimes wanting it more is not gonna work against a great system, and that's what the Spurs got, and they're feeling themselves right now. And the Spurs are gonna have the ability, to move up their seeding.
Yeah, right. I mean, they already clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I'm just sending a message to the money line guy to give us a few more minutes. Let's see here. All right.
The Spurs have an opportunity to up their seeding in the as far as the playoffs are concerned. So, there's gonna be some effort there out of them tonight, I believe. But always check your injury report with the Spurs, as he may decide to sit guys to get him some rest. So, I mean, if you see, Duncan stick out, and the other two, Parker and whoever else on that team, then you might want to give the Thunder a chance. As they will be, they are in desperation mode, like he said, trying to make it. But, well, luckily, the Suns and the Thunder are going to play at pretty much the same time with a half an hour difference. So that won't be an issue for the most part. I would leave that game alone.
Yeah, I agree with you. Next one we got on the ticket, we got Golden State playing at New Orleans. Golden State really has nothing to play for. And it was apparent the other night versus the Spurs, dude. That's why I took the Spurs. But Golden State is minus 4 with an under over of 206. They are playing the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans is a half game behind OKC for the 8th spot in the West as far as playoffs are concerned.
That Golden State Spur game, that's what I was looking for in the Golden State Clipper game. I was looking for exactly what happened in that game, where you had Golden State come in, hey, we're going to try to get a win, but if they start running, we're going to let it go, and then whatever. That's exactly what I expected in that Clippers game, and I guess I was one game off and misreading it, and I really apologize about that because that That's exactly what I wanted for.
I know.
Our
That's what we thought was going to happen there, bro.
Yeah, I did. But here we go in this tonight spot. I feel like the Pelicans, are going to put forth a strong effort. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Golden State found a way to win tonight. Only reason being is, he doesn't really want to take the pedal off the metal, and he's already said that in a couple of interviews, Kerr has. Yep. So you want to keep your guys somewhat sharp. I would expect them, against a team like the Spurs, they didn't probably want to go into it because, the Spurs were, trying to not have it. But I think the Pelicans will back down a little bit easier than the Spurs would. So look for Golden State to be somewhat competitive in this game. Still a game I think that you probably don't want to put your money on.
Yeah, I know. We're guys. What we're looking for right now is we're looking for the Brooklyn Nets last night kind of scenarios. You know what I mean?
I got it for you.
You do, huh?
Yup. But you're gonna hate it,
son. You're gonna give all them points. Damn.
You're gonna hate it. No, I'm not. No, wait till you hear. You don't even know what I'm looking at. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Next one is the Minnesota T-Wolves playing at Sacramento. Sacramento is minus 10 points. I do not have a total.
They're minus 10?
10, kid.
Oh, I love Sacramento, man. Wow, I cannot give 10 points to Sacramento. No.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Wow. I really like Sacramento in this spot. The Timberwolves, they got like me playing.
They got nobody in there, dude.
They got nobody. The Timberwolves got nobody. The Timberwolves could care. I mean, talk about not care. I mean, it's absolutely a shame. Nobody should even bother going to this game to let the NBA know that they need to do a little bit better than this. But yeah, the Timberwolves. It's really bad. I mean, I gave the Magic out against them last week. I said I liked the Magic, and the Magic killed them in Minnesota. The Timberwolves are really, like I said, they got like nobody playing, but you cannot give 10 points with the Kings.
I know. 10 points, dude. That's crazy. I didn't know it was
10 points. Wow.
Crazy. I know. I looked at it. That's why I couldn't believe what you were saying. I was like, nah.
No, you can't do that.
All right, how about this one? And how lucky are the Clips to play the Lake Show 2 times in a row here. Lake Show, basically, they're just swapping. I mean, they're staying at the same court, but they're swapping home court here. Lake Show is getting 17 to 17.5 versus the Clips with an over of 205.5.
Hoops and no play tonight, guys.
I know, right? Oh, man.
There's no good hoop tonight. Sorry. I mean, if you want to play around with the totals, you might get busy. I would probably you know what? I'm not giving out a hoop total. I stink with those. I'm not doing it.
No, exactly. Like I said, we're looking for the team that's really hungry, that needs to get a win versus a team that has nothing to play for. That's the kind of scenarios we're looking for.
No doubt, definitely. Maybe we should get the Brew Crew.
Yeah,
because they should be really hungry as they starving. Right?
Oh, I know. All right, so let me go into. I'm gonna put a message into my guy, the Moneyline guy, to see what he's got to say because we are gonna go into the MLBs.
And the hockey slate is heavy as there are 9 games tonight in hockey. It's very, very, very heavy. And as I'm looking at it, I don't love anything other than I do kind of like the Kings against the Oilers.
What about the Flames?
Against the Coyotes.
Moneyline guy in.
Yep.
See what he's got to say if I could get him in here.
Can't wait to hear his baseball.
Yo. You there, Dream?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know. I can't get him in for some reason. There he is.
There he is.
Do I got the Moneyline guy on the line?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Good morning.
What's up, brother? How's everything?
Oh, it's going really well. Just glad baseball's back and NBA playoffs are approaching.
Yes, sir. Dude, I just want to send a special thank you for coming and partying with us in Las Vegas, man. How awesome was that, dude?
Oh, it was great. The only thing I regret is not having a room down there, because I would have hung out all night. Otherwise, That was the only thing I regret about it. Everything else was great.
Oh,
Good
definitely,
setup.
definitely, man. The flying midgets, kid. The all the performances, dude. Have you ever been?
Never seen anything like that before.
I've never been to that nightclub, dude. Have you ever been to that nightclub before or no?
No, just Hakkasan. You know, I totally forgot that place existed. You just kind of walk past it and don't even realize it's there.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, for me, that was so. Listen, I was in Hakkasan, and I mean, it's dope if you just want to see a mass of people just jumping around. I mean, yeah, the experience is incredible, but for me, Preachers was so much. It was just more. I guess I'm showing my age now, though. It was just more of a breath of fresh air. Like, there was room to move around in there. It was entertaining on top of it. You know, it was just so much of a. For me, it was so much better to me than getting like 5,000 people, putting them in a place and just turning the lights off and then playing music real loud. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't agree with you more. And you can actually get a table and, you know, be around your friends, where the other place you lose everybody in 30 seconds.
I love, to me, the Beachers thing was it was an absolute, it was, you know, and I didn't know what to expect, but to me, that was an absolute home run.
Yeah,
absolutely. Great call.
Yeah, and then seeing the Dream wiggling up on the stage there.
Yeah.
You did. Yo, we were going back and forth with Crush the Bookie with that last night, man. Everybody's still got that vision in their brain, Dream, of you dancing around.
Yeah, you gotta put a video of that up there.
I know. I got it on my phone. I tried to share it again last night. I couldn't share it.
Stop. Hey, what happened to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, man. All right. We got the money line guy, Kid. How did you end up doing with the opening day yesterday?
Yesterday I went 1-3, and
wow.
A couple of tough losses with the Angels. You know, they had a lead, but you know they just couldn't score any more runs. And then I took the Padres, and listen, 3-2 lead, 7th inning with a pretty good bullpen. You know, they just couldn't get to Kimbrel. You know, tip your cap at that price. But the game that I won was the Braves, and then I finished up with Texas with $1.55 with Texas. And I was hoping they would get no hit, because then at least I could say, well, I bet on opening day a game, and I bet on a no-hitter, you know, with the team that got no hit.
Gotcha.
I bet on an opening day game with a team that got no runs. They gave up mad hits.
10-0.
That game was bad. Don't worry, it's only one game. It's just worry about today's game.
Oh, my God, but money line to open. How do you open up like that?
Both teams stink, Rockies and Brewers. I bet you the Brewers will rebound today. I mean, the Rockies are a horrible team. Don't let them fool you what they did yesterday. They got no pitching.
Somebody was telling me that the Rockies, though, got a strong lineup now. Is that incorrect?
Yeah. I mean, they could score runs, that's for sure.
Okay.
You know, it's like, what was it, last year they did the same thing. They started off pretty well, and you know, they scored runs in bunches, and then when the dust falls, you know, that team just falls apart every year. They just don't have. I mean, Kyle Kendrick is their opening day starter. I know he pitched good yesterday, but you know, look at his numbers in the past. I mean, he's not an ace.
And speaking of starting off really well, I'm going to remind a bunch of cappers before they get, you know, all feeling themselves. I remember last year in baseball, a lot of cats started off really well. By the end of baseball season was dying for football.
Yeah.
It's a grind, you know. You just can't get too high or too low. It's just, you know, every day is a new season.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. So what do we got? Hey, what are you looking at today? Let's get this thing going. As we got an expert in here today, which I love, because I gave out the Brewers yesterday, so cats are definitely not listening to me today.
Well, I just wanted to talk about real quick before baseball is the Spurs. You mentioned them, you know, making their late push. That's you know my favorite team, and I got a futures with them at a good price. You know, 11-1 when they were playing kind of, you know, crappy a few weeks ago. When they lost to the Knicks, I stepped right in then. And, you know, I just don't see anybody beating them. I know people are going to disagree and go crazy. The Warriors are the best. But, you know, playoff basketball is a whole different season. Totally different animal. And
I agree. If you've been listening, you know, I mean, I know you've been listening. You know, I've been on them. You know, I've been talking about them for a while. And they are they're the champion. Until you get knocked off your throne, you're the champ. The only thing is, I have been swayed a bit to Golden State. I've got to admit that. You know, especially just watching Golden State. I mean, the other day against the Clippers, and these two kids. I mean, they've got something special going on in Golden State. I've got to recognize that. However, I'm not going to say you're right. 7-game series, things can happen, things can change. An injury can happen between now and then as well. Who knows? But I have pulled back a little bit as I am starting to really solidly recognize that Golden State is an extremely talented team.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. That's all I got to say there with that. I mean, he's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. I agree with you, but Thompson and Curry, you got two unbelievables against one unbelievable. And then you got youth, So it's hard. It's a hard swap off. Hey, it's gonna be I think it'll be a great series if it comes to that. It probably should be a really good series. And obviously you got the coaching pedigree of Popovich, and they're one of the best. But I don't know. I think that San Antonio's age is gonna be possibly an issue in that series, and I just I worry about that. But hey, anything can happen, brother.
Yeah, the key with those two teams, I think, is when they meet in the playoffs. If Spurs can get to number 3, then that means they wouldn't. I think they wouldn't meet them until the conference finals. Correct me if I'm wrong, and that would benefit the Spurs, where if they go all in, so to speak, use all that energy in the conference finals, that could, would be in their best interest. Then the finals would be. I look at it as a cakewalk if they play the Cavs or the Hawks. I would look at that as the easier series. If they play the Warriors early, that could be a problem because they have to use a lot of energy just to beat them, and then they'd have still another tough series right after that. So it really depends when they play them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, this is a great time for basketball. You just get rid of these crap teams that don't compete. Like tonight's game, the Lakers. I mean, give me a break. I saw the other night was hysterical. So we'll get into that. But
I'm a Laker fan.
Well, you should be happy.
Easy.
I mean, it's perfect. I'm losing now, and then
because there's no immediate answers for all these guys with be happy you're losing because you're gonna get a pick. There's nothing coming out that's an answer. You know what I mean? There's no Patrick Ewings coming out of the draft this year. There's no Akeem Olajuwons. I mean, there's some players that'll get, but really the Lakers, it's a body of work. It's gonna be the next 5 years of just badness.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Knicks. It's just gonna take time. It's a cycle.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad, dude.
Yes, definitely.
Hard to watch. So we'll get into some look at some baseball today here. Never. As you guys were watching baseball a long time, you know the deal. You never overreact to day of game one, as opposed to the full season. I mean, it's what you see in game one is you use it to your advantage. The worse the team looks usually in the first game, they always it's all about pitching matchups. You get your aces in first game, and in the second game, a lot of teams don't have a number 2 starter, or at least a quality one. The one thing I did take from opening day, and I like this team a lot. I like the Mets this year. I think they're going to be a team that's got a chance to be a wild card team, and I'm not really sold on the Nationals at all.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you my question with the Mets that have always been. You think they got enough bats?
I do. I really think they have enough to at least be a wild card contender. I mean, they're the key with them with their sticks is David Wright having a bounce back year. Obviously,
I know. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say Duda. I think he's going to be consistent, stays healthy. I mean, he put up good numbers last year, so I think he's solid where he is, and then. The outfield, Kadire was a great pickup too. I mean, his veteran presence in the lineup is just going to only help the other guys, the younger hitters.
My thing with David Wright is I've always, and I know guys are going to kill me when I say this, but I felt David Wright has been overrated, man. I felt like he came out, he was really top billed, he had a good. I think his rookie season, the season after were very positive. But I think he was overrated, and I don't really think he's ever met the expectations that they thought that he was going to reach. And I think that's just a sign that he might have been he's just rated too high. I think he's I think he's a pretty good, but I think he's an average third baseman.
Yeah, no, I'd say he's, I wouldn't say a little better than average, but he's certainly not a franchise player.
Right. That's what I mean. Right. That's what I mean.
You can win with him there, that's for sure. I mean, he's better than what most teams are putting out there, including the teams in their division. I believe he's the best third baseman in the division there. And just to touch on the Nationals real quick before I forget, of course their starting rotation's getting all the press. But if you look deeper into that team, I thought the key loss was Adam LaRoche, who was probably their most clutch hitter last year. And, I thought was a real tough look. Tyler Clippard in the bullpen is going to show up. Drew Storen, he's still their closer, if I'm not mistaken. And he, I know spring training, you don't want to look at it too closely, but he gave up a big home run late in spring training, and he's a very mentally fragile guy. I mean, in playoffs last year, he blew a game. So I think, this day and age with baseball, I try to look at teams, long haul, not just day to day, but handicap a team from the bullpen on out, not the starting pitchers on out. Because the game is decided now in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, not in the first 6.
Definitely, yeah. That's what happened with the Tigers last year, man. They just could not get it done. So, I feel you on that, brother. So, what do you...
Got to keep Kadire healthy. That's an issue. And, the Mets... Hey, I'm going to have to see some more out of him. You may be right. You may be onto something. Dr. Dan likes him as well. So, who am I to challenge you guys on baseball? Because that's your thing, and it's not really mine. But, I am obviously living in Connecticut. We're well aware. Our media keeps us abreast of the Mets and the Yankees. We can't hear, and the Red Sox. We can't hear enough about all three of those teams, especially the Mets. Just knowing the Mets' history and a couple of the names that they got, they remind me of some other Met players that, tanked on them, and looking at Kadire, when I look at Kadire and think of Kadire, for some reason, I start thinking Jason Bay again, even though I hope Kadire has a better, history with the Mets than he did. Granderson, I had a great spring training. I know you guys love that I actually know this, but Granderson has great, spring, but he can't. I don't expect him to keep up on those numbers. I don't know what the curse is over at Citi Field, but it's tough on some of these bats. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this Met team. As I'm not as big on them as you are, but hey, I'm open-minded. I'm willing to listen, though.
Yeah, Kevin Long's the hitting coach now, and he was Granderson's hitting coach with the Yankees. So I think he can only help him. At least be. I think he had a pretty decent year last year power-wise. So if he can just give them. Good defense, 30 home runs, maybe hit 250, 260, good on-base percentage. That's all you could ask. And they have a lot of homegrown players. That's always, if you look at any good team now, like the Royals, a lot of homegrown players. The Giants, homegrown players.
Not to harp on the Mets, but I got to ask you this. Bartolo Colon, isn't he... How old is Bartolo Colon?
42?
40, yeah.
41?
Yeah, he's 40.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, how is Bartolo Colon in the opening day? How did they make him their opening day starter on top of that?
I think they want to start Harvey in the home opener. That's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Take the pressure off of him.
Got it. All right, cool, man. So, what games you looking at today, brother?
It's a shorter card today in baseball, but usually in the second game of the year, you just try to not overreact to what you saw again in day. Hone in, but just a few leans. Right here, San Diego again. This will be another game. I'm not going to overreact. I love what the Padres have done. I know a lot of people might think they've spent, went overboard with who they've picked up, but you have to respect what they've done there. I know they lost yesterday, but you could just see that they're a better team, or much improved, and everything. Defense, their sticks, their bullpen, everything. So that's a possibility there. Depending on where the lines go. It's all about, for me, line movement and certain books I look at, they really give me what's going on the game. Let's see, San Francisco, Arizona. That line's 110 each way. Looks like Vogelsong and De La Rosa. I didn't even know that guy was back in the league. San Francisco, again, you're getting a generous price here. I mean, if this line maybe goes to where they're a dog, I might look at them. Colorado, again, I mean, why not come back with them here if the ability there. And then I can't believe the Cubs are favorite today. That's one of the teams I absolutely am not high on. The Cubs, they refuse to bring up those young players, and that drives me crazy that they're keeping those stiffs out there, Mike Olt and La Stella, and they're keeping Chris Bryant down, who's a Vegas guy. You know, you want to see him up there. It's 40 home runs in the minors, 10 in spring training, and he starts the season in AAA, and they're trying to tell their fans they're winning. I'm not buying it there. So, just again, I'm not saying I'm going to bet the Cardinals, but it would be impossible to bet the Cubs there with the price that they're putting out there. I'm looking at some hockey tonight. You know, the lines are really inflated. I've kind of been doing pretty well with hockey lately with some underdogs. If you guys noticed, I've been cashing lately. These dogs have been coming in.
Yeah, that's because the favorites are, they're rested.
Yeah, they really hit the skids there. Interesting matchups today. There should be a good game tonight. The Wild and the Blackhawks. Like, I took Winnipeg last night for small play. I didn't even post it. I wasn't really loving the game, but they play. I think they were looking ahead. Minnesota was to the game tonight against Chicago. I think that's maybe why. They didn't play well last night. I'm sure Hockey Immortal would agree with that. The Blackhawks and Wild there, so that should be an interesting game there. We'll see where that line goes. Maybe a lean on the Wild there, but just so many inflated lines. It's hard to know who's going to be motivated. I know the Kings lost a tough game last night. They're going to Edmonton, and they need this game, so I probably wouldn't play Edmonton there. No way. Let's see. The Islanders. Do they still? I haven't looked at the standings in hockey. But you know how I feel about the Islanders.
What happened to them, Dream? Damn.
Dude, I know. You know what? The Islanders are going to be, I hate to say this, they could be a classic example of a team that decided to let up off the gas and end up getting swept in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust that goalie there. I mean, I
agree with you. But you know what? The Islanders defensively had issues for most of the season. It was just that Tavares in the offense was just so good that they kind of just outscored most of their opponents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Their offense is it's fun to watch. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of back in the day where they had, Bossi and Tracci and those guys. I mean, it's really fun to see that finally again, but it's defensively is where they seem to be weak there. But they're playing Philly tonight, and Philly's been playing well. I mean, you got to hand it to them. They haven't quit. I mean, I know they own the Penguins, and the Penguins, I don't know what happened to them, but that's a team going limping into the playoffs. But you might have to take a look at the Flyers there. The Islanders, the way they're playing, I don't know if they're worthy of being $1.40 on the road at this point, but we'll see how that line moves during the day. And certainly wouldn't bet against the Rangers right now the way they're playing. They look like they might lock up that President's Trophy. This is an inflated line here. I think Detroit against Carolina, the Red Wings. I mean, they haven't been playing well either, and they're laying like 250 tonight. So that could be another possibility there with Carolina. And then Winnipeg's at St. Louis, and really no opinion there. Winnipeg won last night, and St. Louis beat Chicago, so they're both kind of going in and playing well there. But yeah, the lean I have today, actually in the NBA, you touched on a game, Sacramento -10. I wanted to bring that up. That is the most ridiculous line I've seen today. And who the hell are they to be laying 10 to anybody?
That's because Minnesota's injury report is like a mile long, dude.
I mean, Sacramento's the team to me I'm most disappointed with this year. They just do not. That team just does not care. Like I've seen them, I don't know, at least 30 times this year. Watched a full game of them, and that team puts in the least effort for the talent they have than any other team in the league. I mean, just the most underachieving team, and they have talent. I mean, you look at that roster; it's pretty good on paper. And I know the T-Wolves are terrible and probably tanking, but this could be if that line's 10, 11-ish, in that range, I would look at, possibly taking the T-Wolves there because I think the Kings just, they're mailing it in. And when you get two teams mailing it in and it's double digits, it's pretty solid there to take a team with catching that many points.
So
and then Golden State too. I mean, Golden State's bouncing back after a loss. It's like almost like the New England off a loss. I know this is 1 year, but Golden State seems to be really focused, so that I could see them blowing out New Orleans there.
Okay, all right. So you're feeling. So what's your best stuff right now? You're feeling NBA with the Golden State and the T-Wolves.
Well, again, the T-Wolves line here, I have it only at one book, so I don't even want to say that's a pick. That's just a lean. Right. Golden State would be something maybe at halftime. I'm hoping New Orleans comes out with a lot of energy, because there's no better third quarter team in the league than Golden State. I mean, Steph Curry in the third quarter, it's like money every time, right? He just kind of like lays in the weeds in the first half, and then he goes off early in the third quarter every game. It's like clockwork. So if you can catch them in like a pick'em situation, or even better at the half, and that they should be motivated, because like you guys said, they need to win to lock up home court throughout. I think one more win does it. Where Atlanta can't catch them, and that would be maybe a good bet there if they, because New Orleans needs this game too for the playoffs.
Right.
And then I think I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but I think the league would rather have the Thunder playing than New Orleans in the playoffs, just because of the markets and the players, Westbrook and his marketability. But I can see that happening there. New Orleans playing really well, and then Golden State, coming back maybe in the second half there. But otherwise, it's hard to really get a gauge today. I usually, Vegas here, it's early, so I kind of wait till maybe 10, 11 and do my matchups, and then look how the lines move. But baseball today, again, though, just a couple leans with San Diego. Texas would be another one. The teams that really look bad yesterday would be the teams maybe I would look back coming back at, because no one would bet those teams, and that's usually where the value is. Lines are inflated the next day against them.
Got it. All right, cool, man. Well, dude, I mean, you definitely touched on everything. All the different sports, so we appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. Moneyline guy, we are nearing the 10 o'clock hour, man. We got to cut out of here, brother. But you got anything? Can you tell everybody where to find you and what you're feeling so far and all that? Yeah,
I'm at topratedcappers.com. Got a good team of guys there. We put together a good site and really just trying to keep things very transparent is the word of the day.
Yep.
If I'm going to give a shout out to Top Rated Cappers, The Wiz, Hockey Immortal, Moosefire, Ills in Las Vegas, the CFX, Gambler Bets, and Tango and Cash.
All right. Sounds good, man. Thank you so much for calling, dude. And like I said, it was a pleasure meeting you out in Las Vegas, brother.
Yeah, it was
right
great.
Here too, definitely.
All right.
Talk again during the NBA playoffs. Hopefully, we get that matchup we want there, Golden State and Spurs in the conference finals.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for calling us so early in the morning, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah. It'll make some money, guys.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Dream. So, a lot of information there to take in, brother.
No doubt.
A lot of information to take in. So we just got to kind of take a look at this, dude. What do you, bro? I'm lost today.
I'm all over the place myself, man. I don't know what to do. I am leaning no. I got to be honest with you. I do like the Kings tonight.
Son, why don't you get the Clippers minus 58.82 on the money line? Come on, man. You only got to lay 5,800 to make a casino. Come on.
Hey, I like the Kings tonight. So that might be in my radar as far as the Kings are concerned. I'm also, I'm getting a little bit of a feel on this baseball game.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking, I know. But I kind of like what they said about the Padres. I kind of was digging the Padres, so I might take a shot with the Padres today. I'm still on the fence about if I'm going to try to go back to the Brew Crew again. I know I can't. So hey, I may not do nothing, but who knows? But I do like the right off the top of my head though. I do like the Kings. So I'll get with a couple of the guys that I usually kick it with and hear your thoughts. The Rangers have owned the Devils, but I don't know if the Rangers are gonna take the night off. But the Rangers could beat the Devils as well. And I got Irvin mentioned to me about the Predators Avalanche game, what could be a good spot for the Preds, but damn, man, you cannot trust the Preds right now. Hockey, I need hockey to playoffs to start, man.
Yeah, I know.
Need them to get the play. So, guys, it might be a fallback day and rest and take it easy. Maybe watch a little bit of baseball and see what happens, and maybe try to come up with the last, with the last game of the series and see what teams will do tomorrow. Because I don't have a whole hell of a lot today, and I'm not going to force it. Let's sit back maybe and just enjoy the win that I got out of Duke last night, and get ready for get ready for hockey and NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it. I mean, the game that I'm looking at, I'm trying to figure out, and I'm going to have to do a lot of homework on this. I'm trying to figure out if Atlanta has any kind of motivation tonight at home. After seeing what they did to the Brooklyn Nets. This is the NBA I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure out if they're going to have motivation enough to win, because I have a 6-team parlay that I've already won the first 4, so I'm trying to close it out with the final 2, and I'm trying to get 2 solid plays, and it doesn't look like I have 2 solid plays tonight. I think there might be 1, if anything. So
I got to be honest with you. The other game that I didn't say that maybe I would bet on, and we'll see. I doubt it though. Is if I was going to take an NBA game, I'd probably take the Spurs.
Really?
You got to look at that, and I got to do the homework and look at it and see where they're at as far as movement is concerned. Do you want to look at it right now?
They're -7 right now. It actually.
No. I'm talking about the standings.
Oh, the standings. I know that they are I want to say 2 games out of the 2nd seed, but they have it's like a cluster of teams. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, the 2 through the 6 seed are really trying to, battle there. Let me just take a look. Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh, yeah. No. I see it now. No. There's a cluster. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, every team is neck and neck.
I like San Antonio now, looking at this cluster.
They've already secured a playoff spot. They are 2 games behind the Rockets for the 2nd seed, 1 game behind the Grizzlies. Wow. I mean, this thing is all knotted up here.
Yeah, I like the Spurs tonight. They're gonna play. I mean, as long as you got everybody playing, I'm gonna lean with them. I like them tonight.
On the road?
Dude, it's a system, man. They play the Spurs. They're dope on the road. Come on, the Spurs are dope.
I know. I'm struggling with that.
Look at their road record. They're 20 and 18. I mean, that's not phenomenal, but right. I mean, it's still winning. Yeah, no, I mean, because they need the game. They need, like he was saying, if they move up to the 3rd spot, that's huge, because they would play Golden State in the conference final as opposed to maybe catching them early with all that energy. The Spurs, they're gonna come to play tonight, and that's what you're looking for. And if they come, all I want is them to come to play, because their 10 are better than Oklahoma's 2. Or I should say there's 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know OKC's trying to keep the number 8 seed. That's the thing.
Yeah, they only got one guy, dude. They only got one score. That's why guys wanted to take Oklahoma City on Sunday against the Rockets. Some guys out there, were hitting me. I can't remember who hit me up. Game Changer. Game Changer liked Oklahoma City, and I'm like, dude, how do you take Oklahoma City in that spot when they're, they only got one scorer?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, San Antonio is ranked number 2 in the league as far as road defense, letting up under 96 points a game, 95.9 to be exact. So, I don't know, man. I'm gonna take a look. I'm looking for a solid home team.
I know there's not one tonight.
Yeah. Besides Atlanta, but. I got to see if they got something to play for. So we'll put it out later on, guys. You know what I mean? I apologize. Hey, go to our website, man. Dr. Dan will be putting up all his MLBs. He can't stay away. He's got to play every game on the board, which he loves to do. So, take a look at it. It's called Dr. Dan's Clinic on SportsBettersTV.com, and that's maybe where you'll get some value there. But as far as I'm concerned, dude, I'm trying to be careful. I'm not trying to just give out crap. I really want to make sure that what I say is well thought out and the right place. So
no doubt,
that's what we're all about here, dude. So, you got anything else before we close out, kid?
Hey, that's it, gang. That's it for me. I want to just thank everybody for all their support. We got the kid out there. We got Irvin Yip at 82, OJFB's out there, Deeks Picks, Vegas Girl 92661, J Gots Cash Action Bets, Philly Picks, Tony Enab, Betting the Dream. World Sports Picks is back and telling me he's ready. Baseball is his thing. As you remember, he was big on baseball last year, so he's back, and we'll be getting some of his information out this season as well. Joey's out there, Jonesy. CZVIP 2015 is out there giving out picks. That's a heavy name. The Capper Zone is out there. Almighty Kev is out there as well. Papa Smurf, what's going on, player? G Rose, Scott Weaver, Rafael Esparza, Nicholas J, Sports Degen, Dank, Sports Actions, Actions Bets. Also, Sin City Mavericks, the champ, Total Sports Edge, the queen of odds, winning picks, no request, LVCC, Randy Lockhart, Prestige Worldwide, my man Oscar, Rainmaker 512, my boy Sydney Urban, Let's Go. My girl Jet is out there as well. I haven't talked to her or hollered at her in a minute. Crush the bookie. Check the First Lady of the Fake Fam out always with her hockey. You guys know I always send you over there. Ross Hayden's been supporting the show. Super Mario's out there. Rick Lopez. My man Yato's doing his thing too. We got Vegas Bank on there. Vegas Bank on there. I said no request as well as out there. Contributing to the show. Mario Martinez, big ups to him. Buddy the Dog, big ups to you. As Buddy yesterday was very positive, going 8 for 9 yesterday with his MLBs, which is impressive. Alex Washington is out there. Betting the Farm is out there. Playful Laura is out there. Rafael Mato, Jayhawk, Joe's Picks, and so many more, guys. I am the Dream. Thank you for your support as always. Always remember who you're with and make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, guys, I will put my stuff out later on. I'm also on CapperTech, too. That's where I track my plays, and I'll put my stuff out there. I usually put them out there like an hour before game time or sooner. So, with that said, we are the biggest show in the world, guys. Sports Bettors TV at sportsbettorstv.com. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy with this nasty card because it's looking crazy today. But get that money. Let's go.